Yeah, gather round, future millionaires. I got a bedtime story for your blockchain dreams. He said, copy this link, wake up rich by 3. Bro, that ain't trading, that's online make-believe. $8 it all, you can chill, you can nap. If your robot's that smart, why it needs your cash? Trust the system, BG got the sauce. System looking kinda thin, more like dental floss. Screenshots of profits, all cropped at the frame. Whole thing smell like spam mail in a chain. BG wealth, sharing is cap, my friend. Ain't no magic money, you can just send. You can't trade crypto by a copy-paste link. Use half a brain cell, just stop and think. There is no AI making you rich in your sleep. It's a big goofy scheme, not a secret technique. Stephen Baird ain't real, that dude's a meme. And Joseph Smith is a Mormon in a different scene. He said, bro, I met Steven on a private jet flight. Yeah, Agent Peck photo with the lighting not right. Sex accent keeps changing, name spelled 3 ways. Profile born yesterday, got success in 10 days. They throw mentor around like confetti and rice. Send you Bible length text but can't spell device. Joseph Smith taught me these crypto keys. Buddy, that's religion, not trading expertise. Stop it. Sharing is cap, my friend. So ain't no magic money, you can just send. You can't trade crypto by a copy-paste link. Use half a brain cell, just stop and think. There is no AI making you rich in your sleep. It's a big goofy scheme, not a secret technique. Stephen Baird ain't real, that dude's a meme. And Joseph Smith is a Mormon in a different scene. If they promise you the world just for sharing a code, that's not a blessing, that's a pyramid road. If guaranteed profit in the very first line, only thing guaranteed you get robbed online. Facts. BG wealth, sharing is cap, my friend. Ain't no magic money, you can just send. You can't trade crypto by a copy-paste link. Use half a brain cell, just stop and think. There is no AI making you rich in your sleep. It's a big goofy scheme, not a secret technique. Stephen Baird ain't real, that dude's a meme. And Joseph Smith is a Mormon in a different scene.
Karma's a bitch.
Queen of Karma.
Hello everyone, and how are you all doing today? I hope that you're all having a fabulous, amazing day. Maybe you came across this video because you have heard about the BG Wealth scam. Maybe somebody in your family or one of your friends have joined this scam and you are wondering how to deal with it. You know, it can be very, very difficult when someone that you care about is a part of this thing. And I wanted to do this stream today because I often get comments under my BG Wealth sharing DSJ exchange videos. And they say things to me like, is anyone actually being negatively affected by this thing, though? Like, people are copying and pasting and they're pulling out money, so who cares? So I thought today we would go through some Reddit posts that I found of some people that are very obviously affected by this scheme, and we would give them advice on how to deal with it. And then afterwards, I thought I would show you a couple times that Danny and I have trolled the BG Wealth sharing Zoom meetings, because that could be some fun. Maybe you haven't seen that. So without further ado, I think we will just get right into it. So we are talking about the victims of BG Wealth Sharing Limited and DSJ Exchange. This scam has been going for quite a little while now. They claim it's been going since 2018. We cannot find any proof of BG Wealth existing before 2022. But, you know, it has been rebranded from other schemes in the past. And so because of that, we believe that it is CR Global. It was then turned to Unisex, spelled UNICEX. And there have been thousands and thousands of victims of this scheme. So this person says, my family is deep into DSJ. and it's getting uncomfortable. I went to a family event today, and literally everything revolved around DSJ. At this point, it's basically their whole personality. Every conversation turns into them hyping it up or trying to recruit someone. I just sat there trying to keep it together because honestly, I already know it's a scam. What really gets me is that they're not just participants anymore. They're uplines and still actively pulling people in. They're celebrating the money they're making now. But I can't stop thinking about what happens if this gets shut down or investigated. Those profits won't mean much if there are consequences later. I didn't want to cause a scene at a family gathering, but it's frustrating watching people you care about go all in on something like this, and even worse, bringing others into it. So I want to speak directly to anyone who's feeling sick to their stomach because their family has been pulled into this BG Wealth scaring DSJEX scam. And they're now recruiting other people into this scam. I get it doesn't make you feel great, but I need you to hear this. Your family is not stupid, your family's not greedy, and your family is not lost. They're caught in what we call a commercial cult, a high control financial system that uses psychological tactics instead of religious ones. And when people get pulled into something like this, they start acting in ways that don't feel like them. They defend it. They recruit. They shut down conversations. They block critics. They repeat the talking points. And that's not who they are. That's the system talking through them. And it often takes over people's identities. That's why we refer to people that are stuck in these things as hunbots or brobots. They turn into an MLM robot, right? These scams like BG Wealth and DSJ Exchange, they're designed to hijack trust, hope, and community. They make people feel chosen, special, part of an inside group that knows the truth. They create an us versus them mentality where anyone who questions the platform becomes the enemy. And when someone is emotionally invested, financially invested, and socially invested, it becomes almost impossible for them to step back and see what's really going on here. And that's why your family is reacting the way that they are. It's not personal, it's psychological. And I want you to know something else. People do come out of these things. I'm a perfect example of that. They come out of them all the time, sometimes slowly, sometimes all at once. And when they do, they almost always say the same things. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm so embarrassed. And especially, thank you for not giving up on me. So don't lose hope. Your family isn't gone. They're just temporarily captured by a system designed to manipulate good people. Your job right now isn't to save them or argue with them or force them to see your truth. Your job is to stay steady. Protect your own information, protect your own money, and be the safe, calm place they can come back to when the illusion cracks. Because it will. These schemes always collapse when the money slows down, usually when recruitment slows down, right? And when that moment comes, they're going to need someone who didn't shame them, didn't fight them, and didn't abandon them. That person can be you. They're going to need you. So take a breath. You're not alone. Your family isn't doomed. And this situation, as painful as it is temporary. They will see the light, and when they do, they'll remember who stood by them. The BG Wealth Boogie, that's right. Good to see you, Violet. So don't give up hope on your family members. Just, hang in there. Like I say, the most important thing that you can do is not get frustrated with them and be an outside communication. Someone outside of the cult that doesn't give up on them, still communicates with them, doesn't let them isolate, and who they can come to if they do have any worries that they need to talk through, or maybe they're rethinking things and realizing it's a scam. So try to be that person instead. All right, the next one. The next one. Violet says, I made a comment with the government warnings under a professor video and was told I am just jealous I can't get it. Well, maybe you are, Violet. Jeez. But you want your money to be stolen, don't you? You love on passive. Awesome. So, this person says, need advice on getting out of BG wealth without causing family issues. Oh my. Yeah, we don't want to cause family issues. That's a hard one. So they say, I joined BG Wealth because my grandpa introduced me to it. Shame on them for preying on elderly, just saying. And he even funded me. Oh man, see, they tell people to fund their family members and friends, right? And it's because, like, if your grandpa buys you it as a gift or funds it for you, it's harder for you to say no. It's easy to say no when you're like, oh, I don't have the funds. Sorry, I just can't do it. But when they're like, I've already paid for you, you're kind of there like, oh, thanks, Grandpa, right? So they say, now I'm realizing I'm not comfortable with it. To withdraw the money I owe, I need to use my ID. And I've read that this platform has a lot of red flags. I really don't want to hurt my grandpa's feelings, but I also don't want to risk my personal info. Has anyone been in a situation like this? What's a safe way to back out without causing family problems? Damn, that is a hard situation to be in. It really is. I hate that for you. I really do. Thanks in advance. You're welcome in advance. So, for anyone who joined BG Wealth because a family member paid for it, especially if it was a grandparent, and now you want to leave but you're scared to send in your ID, here's my advice. You don't have to hand over your personal documents to a company you don't feel safe with. You're allowed to say, I'm not comfortable giving them my ID, so I'm choosing not to continue. That's a boundary, not disrespect. You don't have to argue. You don't have to convince anyone. And you don't have to risk your identity to avoid hurting someone's feelings. You can appreciate the gesture while still protecting yourself. At first I thought, well, you could get your grandparent to pull the money out for you. But then I was kind of like, no, get with it, Queen. Because if you join BG Wealth and you're seeing a balance in your account, I need you to know that those numbers are not real money. They're not actual earnings you can withdraw. It's part of how these scams keep people hooked. So no, you don't need your grandparent to withdraw it. That's a bad idea because there's nothing to withdraw. So it wouldn't happen anyway. So the safest thing that you can do is walk away without sending your ID to anyone. Tell your grandpa, thank you, I appreciate the gesture, Grandpa, but I'm no longer interested. And that shouldn't cause family issues. I'm sure your grandpa will understand. And in due time, hopefully, he sees the light too. It sucks because you feel like you're leaving your loved one in the scheme, right? Like you're leaving someone behind. But I assure you, that's not really what you're doing. And we'll talk in future about how you can't really convince people, which is a very hard pill to swallow for a lot of friends and family members. So the next one is how to leave BG Wealth. How do I get out of this thing? Help, I'm stuck. My mom was recently recruited into BG Wealth without my knowledge of the whole thing. Now she opened it up to me, and I convinced her it's all a scam. Thankfully, she's not completely brainwashed yet and is asking advice on how to leave. Well, that's good. I'm glad she's not brainwashed. What should I tell her to do? Hello, K-pop lover. Good to see you. You should tell Gramps about Victory with Ash. No, don't do that. So what should you tell Mom to do? Well, the good news is mom already sees it's a scam, right? So, I mean, that's good. So, if your mom has realized that it's a scam and she wants to leave, honestly, the safest way that she can do that is to just stop engaging with the platform completely. She doesn't need to send in her ID, and if she has sent in her ID, she may want to, call the bank and just let them know that she accidentally sent in her information to a scam. She doesn't need to try to withdraw anything because there's nothing in there. And she honestly doesn't need to argue with anyone or even announce her departure. She can simply just walk away. The money in the account isn't real. It's just numbers on a screen designed to keep people hooked. So the safest exit is to stop logging in, stop responding, and protect her personal information. Leaving quietly is absolutely okay, and I recommend doing that instead of making a big stink as you leave. Now, some people like to call it out as a scam as they're leaving in hopes of taking people with them, but we're not about the drama today. We just want to get your mom out. So that's not always necessary. Tell her to leave the Bond chat group, and if anyone bothers her from BG after she leaves, tell her to block them if they can't just accept that she's gone. They probably won't want to be friends with her anyway anymore, as is the case with these MLMs. So the best way is to back out quietly and make a clean break. I'm wishing her all the best, and I hope that she does get out of there safely. Watching this while you're at work, surrounded by people in BG wealth. They could swap their pretend BG profits for O coins, maybe? I doubt it. I don't think the platforms are connected. All right, the next one is, how do I stop my father from investing in BG wealth scamming? I do love how you called it BG wealth scamming. We're off to a great start with this post, so obviously you're very familiar of what it is. So, I don't know where my dad got into this BG wealth sharing DSJ thing. Let me give you some background information for those that don't know what it is. Very helpful. There is a group or company, we'll use the term company very loosely here, right? And they're called BG Wealth Sharing, and it is scammy. They work on a chatting site called Bond Chat, where they give out referral codes twice a day. By the way, Bond Chat, translated to English, is just good chat. And I like that. The user has to copy and paste those codes onto a site called DSJ Exchange. And boom, they make money easily. He also got 2 of his friends to put money into this. I looked into it and told him that the UK and Australian governments have both called it a total scam. So as a couple places here in Canada, just saying. He showed me that he had taken out the base amount and now he is trading with the profits he made there. I told him that once they reach a certain amount, they will dip with all the money, and he laughed out loud. What should I say to get him to stop? Damn, he laughed in your face. That's cold. More and more people posting on Reddit. We love to see it. We need as many people to speak out as we can. And these questions are great because you're not usually the only one wondering these things, right? So if you're trying to get a parent or family member or friend to stop putting money into BG Wealth and they don't want to believe it's a scam, I have some bad news. I have some hard truth for you. And that is that you can't force someone to see it. I know, it sucks. I wish we could, but then we wouldn't be any better than the cult leaders, right? So when people are emotionally or financially invested, they often double down because admitting it's a scam feels embarrassing or scary. There also be, they have some sunk cost fallacy, they got some FOMO, there's a lot going on there. So instead of trying to convince these people, shift the focus to your own boundaries. You can say things to them like, I'm not comfortable with my money being used for this, or I'm not willing to send ID or invest in something I'm unsure about. And that avoids arguments and keeps the conversation safe. And that way they know not to try to get you recruited into the thing, right? And maybe it will hint at them not to bring it up around you so much. Let them know that they're free to make their own choices, but you're choosing not to participate. And give them a face-saving exit. Something like these companies are designed to look legitimate, so it's not your fault that you fell for this, but I'm stepping back to protect myself. That way, if they ever decide to leave later, they don't have to feel ashamed. Try not to shame them about it. You can't control their decisions, but you can protect your own information, your own money, and your own peace. You can try to watch videos about BG well sharing and DSJEX. I have a couple on my channel that explains it's a scam and that Stephen Beard's not real. But unfortunately, you cannot make anyone believe anything they just don't want to believe. That's what makes these MLM schemes so hard to combat. This is why we call them commercial cults. They take over people's identities and lives, and it's really hard to get someone to see the light once they are manipulated. I really do hope you can get your dad to see the light before it's too late, and I really hope that he stops, investing money into this. But unfortunately, there's not much you can do to force them, Violet says the Bond Chat app also comes with a high security risk while using. Yes, it does. Which is very worrisome that this company is then using it for financial advice and where people are posting up personal information. The whole thing is just very scary. And I'm sure identities are being stolen, which is why I say don't send your ID. I tell people don't do it at all. But we can only give the advice. And we can only be there for our family members through it. We can't make them do anything or make them see anything. And that's the hardest part about being a friend or family member of someone in these schemes. It's very frustrating. And I really do emphasize with that a lot. I still have friends of mine that are in it. And I've been speaking out about them since 2019. And there's, people who I thought were close friends with me that took what I said seriously. And then now they're like, well, now because I really like making my $50 a month in Monet or whatever, there's not much you can do. All you can do is provide them with the information and hope that they come around and see the light and then be a person on the outside that they keep contact with so that they don't further isolate themselves into the cult. So now we have I Need Help, DSJ, BG Wealth, PH. So I'm genuinely going to lose my mind over this. Me too, sis, me too. A few months ago, apparently a parent of mine decided to get into this crypto thing without telling anyone. She put in around $500, 30K pesos, where I'm from. And ever since then, no matter how hard I've tried, they've been convinced that they've been earning large sums of money through trading. I somehow got roped into all of this, and now my school ID has been registered into the program along with my face. Oh no. I know I'm fighting an uphill battle, but is there any proof or evidence I can use to try and prove to her that this is a scam? I'm not even sure at this point since they sound so unsure of themselves. The first alarm bell started ringing in my head ever since I've seen them watch videos of people who allegedly have been doing this for a year and are earning thousands of dollars, saying stuff like, don't trust what you see online or from detractors, etc., etc. It just seems so cult-like to me. It is very cult-like. Good intuition. I just need proof, evidence of it being a scam scheme, and maybe advice on how to broach the topic, and maybe how to get our money back since they managed to spread it to coworkers and relatives. Darn, that's rough. I hate that. So, if you're trying to show someone that BG Wealth is a scam, honestly, the strongest proof you can use is the stuff that doesn't come from me or from opinions. It comes from facts. Again, I've done full video deep dives where I walk through the fake CEO, the reused backend code, the shell companies, and explain how it's a fake trading platform. Those videos show the receipts. Second, there are now 10 regulatory warnings. Yes, 10 now. 10 regulatory warnings from official financial authorities around the world telling people not to send money to BG Wealth or DSJ Exchange. Regulators don't issue warnings unless something is seriously wrong, especially 10 different regulators, okay? So if someone needs proof, point them to the deep dives and the regulatory warnings. That way you're not arguing, you're just showing them what the evidence says. I tried to make my videos in a way so that you can sit down with a family member or a friend who is in this and you guys can go through it together. But you don't have to. As I keep explaining, unfortunately, you might still not be able to convince them. That's the shitty thing about cults, is that once people are in them, they have to kind of be put in a situation where it really rocks their world, you know, where the cult does something that makes them go, oh my God, the cognitive dissonance is really breaking me out of this, before they'll leave, you know? And like K-pop Lover says, it's tiring to do all that and to deal with all of it. So again, just protect yourself and your peace and your boundaries. Be an outside person for them, like I keep saying, and try not to stress too much about it. This thing will go down eventually, I promise. They always do. The next one is quite a doozy. Oh my goodness. This one is, how do I convince a whole town they're in a Ponzi scheme when the withdrawals are actually working? And I get this a lot. You know, people are pulling out money with this thing. So how do I explain it's a scam? Because my family member says, well, I pulled out money, so it's not a scam. You know? But a whole town, Jesus Christ. Imagine. So they say, hey everyone, I need some advice on a strategy here. Everyone wants the strategy for how to wake up their family member or friend from a cult. And I really wish that there was some secret signal that I could get a professor to send you, and then you could input it into an AI, and then it would wake your family member up. But unfortunately, I'm not a scammer like these people, so I can't promise you any such thing. There is no one real way. It totally depends on the person. And if you are in a situation and you want actual advice for your personal situation, you can email me and say, Queen, my family member is in this thing, and this is the situation, and this is what we've talked about. And, you know, like, what do I do? And I will offer you my advice for free. I will not charge you for it. I don't charge for things like that. So, they say, I'm seeing a massive scam similar to the DSJ exchange spreading like wildfire in my small town, and it's getting out of hand. The background. Dun, 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 dun. There's a platform operating here that uses a copy trading app and bond chat groups for communication. We all know it's a scam, but here's the problem. I have personally witnessed around 80 people actually benefiting from it so far. Benefiting should be in quotations. Because I'm known locally as someone with a bit of crypto knowledge, people have been coming to me for help. I've personally assisted about 40 people with their withdrawals, and every single one of them successfully pulled out at least $1,000. The dilemma. Dun, 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 dun. Most of these people don't even know what a crypto exchange is. And that should be a red flag as well. If a platform is actually doing this crazy trading thing, right? You would think that they would want people that actually know what a fucking crypto exchange is. You know what I'm saying? The fact that they actually go out of their way to prey on people that don't understand crypto exchanges, that's a red flag in itself. You know, like grandpa should not be signing up for this. And the fact that there aren't Gen Zers that are into crypto signing up for this left, right, and center is kind of all you would really need to know. Anyway, their recruiters do everything for them, setting up accounts, etc. I've been preaching against this since day one. Good. But they just laugh at me. They say, dude, you're literally seeing the money hit our accounts with your own eyes. Why are you telling us it's fake? Right? The age-old question. It's a relatively poor town, and the scale of money I've helped withdraw is honestly mind-blowing. I haven't met a single person here who has lost money yet, which makes me look like the crazy one. Right? My question. How do these schemes manage to give such high profits for this long? Recruitment. It's all recruitment. That's why they're all about recruitment. And more important, and the fees. Right? A lot of these things, they charge like $25 for you to withdraw the money, so they get it out of that. And more importantly, what is a good strategy to stop this? Like I said, everyone wants a secret code to stop it, right? I want to protect my neighbors before the exit scam happens and this whole town loses their life savings. But the success they're seeing right now is making them blind to the risk. That is a big problem, right? And we see that a lot in these things. Has anyone dealt with a successful Ponzi like this before? How do you break the spell? Again, everyone wants that secret code to breaking the spell, right? So, unfortunately, when an entire town gets pulled into a Ponzi scheme, it becomes almost impossible to convince people it's fake, especially when withdrawals are still working. Early withdrawals always work in every Ponzi scheme. That's kind of how they keep people hooked. That's how they build the trust. They pay out the first wave using the deposits from the second wave. So if you're trying to convince a whole community, don't argue with them, don't debate them, and don't try to prove it with emotion. Use evidence. Point them to the video deep dives where I show the fake CEO, the recycled backend, etc., and the fact that the trading platform isn't real or attached to any exchange. And point them to the 10 regulatory warnings from actual financial authorities around the world. Again, regulators don't issue warnings for fun. They do it when something is dangerous. And the fact that there's 10 of them, that should tell you something. The problem is that you cannot personally save an entire town. I know. I suffer from martyrdom too sometimes. I get it. You really want to, and you're thinking you're the crypto person, so you should be the one to do it. I understand. The problem is that this is way too big of a problem for you to deal with by yourself. So you can only give people the information and protect the ones who are ready to hear it. Ponzi schemes eventually collapse when the money slows down, not when people finally believe it's a scam. So focus on the people who are asking questions, maybe the ones that are feeling uneasy, the ones who are already noticing red flags. Those are the people you can help, and the rest will just have to figure it out when the withdrawals stop, because they always do. But don't put it on yourself to save the entire town. It's not on you. I know that's really hard to hear, but it just isn't, and it will just put you in a really bad situation with everybody in your whole town. And we don't want that for you. The most important thing is to protect yourself, right? So I need you to not argue people, not get upset with people, and not try to be Mr. Martyr over here and save everyone from the crypto scheme. Maybe just, explain crypto to them a bit more. Maybe if they have a bit more understanding as well of the entire industry, then it will be easier for them to also see how it's a scam, right? If you explain to them that it's not connected to any exchange and that it has to be connected to an exchange in order for their signals to work, kind of go that route with anyone that may be questioning. But if you're getting people that are like, dude, I'm withdrawing money, fuck you, don't stress yourself out with those people. Just kind of, all right, dude, good luck, Oh, don't put too much in. That's all I would tell you to do, maybe, is just, tell people, careful with your money. Maybe don't put your whole life savings in there right now. But even if they do, that's not on you. That's on these people and the scam they're running. You can only do so much. You're only one person dealing with a whole town. All right? And again, we don't need them to come out with pitchforks and chase you out of the town because of this. So we got to make sure that you're cool first, my dude. Excuse me. That's the advice I would give to you for that. And, I would say that for anyone that is dealing with a large community around them that is involved in this. Don't make it hard for you to deal with this community now because they're in this. That's what the scam wants. The scam wants to make problems and wants to isolate these people, right? So the best thing you can do is combat that part. Stay on a speaking basis with everyone. Keep cool with everyone. Make sure that they all know you're the crypto guy and keep that open communication so that they are still coming to you with doubts and questions and things like that. Because if you make them uncomfortable coming to you and you make them mad at you, then everyone really is shit out of luck, aren't they? So that's the best advice I would give you. All right, on to the next one. Here we go. My dad is being groomed by a professor in a WhatsApp bond chat crypto scam. DSJEX. How do I convince him it's a Ponzi? The first thing I'm going to deal with is the word groomed. A lot of people seem to think that the word groomed stands for an adult manipulating a child. And although, yes, it is normally used for that, the word groomed is actually a way that describes manipulation using coercive control and oftentimes a power imbalance. It does not automatically equate to an adult trying to manipulate a child. Grooming just means that there's coercive control happening and there's likely some kind of power imbalance going on. So in this case, the power imbalance is that Professor Stephen Beard, the professor, is the CEO owner of this thing, allegedly, right? We can't find any proof this man actually exists. And then this person is a member of their group. All right? That's the grooming going on. And they're being manipulated into a financial commercial cult. So yes, it is grooming. So I want to get that out of the way first, because I have a lot of people out here on this platform that don't know the definition of words. And then they come out here and they go, this definition means this. You can't call it grooming unless it's dealing with kids. And I'm like, what are you talking about? As someone that literally studies coercive control and manipulation, you are so wrong. So if we could all stop doing that with the word grooming, that would be great, because it's really, really affecting those of us trying to speak out against coercive control. When you come in here and you say, the word grooming is only about children. And it's like, no. And then I have to keep doing this speech every time that someone uses the word correctly, like they are in this situation. So yes, your dad is being groomed by Professor in a WhatsApp bond chat crypto scam. And how do you convince him it's a Ponzi? The question of the hour. I need help. Me too, my dear, me too. My dad has been sucked into an elaborate investment scheme. I know, it's stressful. And no matter how much evidence I show him, he's protecting the scammer's authority over my logic. It's very insulting, isn't it? Their tactics. The professor script. He was recruited into a WhatsApp group led by a professor and his assistant. They claim to have 100% successful AI trading signals, because that exists, doesn't it? 100% success in trading. The 60-day trap. They are promising to double his money, 1,000% interest, within 60 days. Again, if it sounds too good to be true, guess what? The tech. The business operates off a free Weebly site filled with messy PDFs. There is no registered broker, no SEC filing, and no physical address. Oh my God. The Bond Chat pivot. They forced everyone to move to an app called Bon Chat or Bomb Chat. Well, that's how they say it, isn't it? I've looked it up, and it's a darkroom app where admins can delete messages on both sides and block victims instantly. So there's no evidence for the FBI. Well, they think that, don't they? I trust our FBI. The malware warning. I found official government alerts from the New Zealand FMA and Utah Division of Securities. Yeah, the fact that Utah gave a warning about this scam, I mean, I was shocked. I was like, Utah? Really? Oh, wow. Yeah, no, they must be really preying on people, you know? So that they named the exact group DSJEX BG Well. They warn that the apps contain malware designed to steal bank logins. And the thing is that, yeah, there's malware on this. And also, they're doing weird things, like they're having people send in pictures of them with their ID. So, like a picture of someone holding their ID up to their face and then taking a picture like that. And then they're having people send in their SIN numbers and stuff. Again, don't trust it. Don't trust it at all. My coworker's still talking about recruiting more people to level up, right? Because they're told that they have to. Right? Otherwise, they're not being active. The family conflict. He tried to get me, a 20 female college student, and my mom, a CNA, involved. He wanted me to open an account with my info and link my Coinbase. I refused and sent his investment money back to him immediately because I'm not risking my credit or my future medical career on a Weebly site. Good girl. Even after showing him the news articles that describe his professor word for word as a scammer, he says anyone can write anything on the internet. He thinks because they let him withdraw a tiny amount early on, the whole thing is legit. So that's how all the Ponzi schemes work. Question for the community. Has anyone dealt with this professor-assisted script, specifically with DSJ or BG Well? How do I explain the liquidation fee scam to him before he tries to withdraw the big money? Hopefully he hasn't put in any big money, my dear. Are there any specific technical tools I can use to show him the malware or the fake nature of the trading app? Hey, Salame! Very good questions. Very, very good questions. I like how you think. I really do. You really broke it down, right? So I have dealt with the professor assistant script, specifically with BG Well sharing, DSJ Exchange, and we've actually ran into several scams using this exact same professor script. And again, we do think that they are all connected, at least partially. So the professor script is something a lot of victims have seen. Again, it's not a real person. It's a character created by the scammers. And the script that they use for their bullshit is used across multiple fake platforms. Right? So in my deep dives, I show you why I believe that Stephen Beard is not real and why you should never trust someone telling you that a professor is sending you some signal to put into a platform. So, yes, you're talking to a scammer using a script, and no, he's not a real person. We cannot prove it. But it is a very, very well-known scam. So people are becoming more and more familiar that if you're in a Telegram, WhatsApp, or Bond chat group and someone named a professor, the professor is going to send you something, it's a scam. So how do you explain the liquidation fee scam? The liquidation fee is one of the biggest red flags in any Ponzi scheme. We kind of talked about this recently. over on Danny's channel. So here's how you explain it. You say that real investment platforms take fees out of your profits. They don't use an upfront fee. And it's usually a percentage. It's not like, oh, you have to pay us $50 in order to take it out. It's a percentage, right? Scams do the opposite. So they ask you to pay a fee, a set fee usually, before you can withdraw. And they do this because they know you'll never get the money back. The fee is a very big part of the scam. Once you pay it, they ask for more or they disappear. So if your dad is being told he needs to pay a liquidation fee to get his big payout, that's the moment to stop. No legitimate platform does that. And again, there is no big payout, right? Like you cannot trade and they're not on an exchange. So it's all just fake numbers and they're just pocketing the money. Now, you asked if there were any technical tools that you can use to show your dad the malware or the fake nature of the trading app. I don't really want you to mess around with all the technical tools because I don't know what you know about technology, so I don't want to lead you down the wrong road with that. So this is what I'm going to say. Oh, I know. There are ways that you can show it's fake without getting technical. We can do Crypto G's full breakdown. Yes, perfect. That's what we'll do. Okay, so on DSJEX.com. Give me a second. Let's do that. All right, I brought it up while I was talking. I'll show you exactly what you can do. And I will link this in my chat as well. So the link is in my chat. Go to this article, okay? This article written by Crypto G, he did a fabulous, amazing job. And he goes through the entire thing. All right. He explains the DSJ Exchange website was built by a student in India in a single day. You can even click on the HTML and see the old site here. Okay. He goes through all of the smoking guns for why this is a scam. Then he gets into the trading mechanism being a 400-line Python script. And yes, you can download the zip file of it. So if you do know technology, you can actually download this zip file and go through it. Now, they deleted this off of their GitHub after we exposed it, and they saw us poking around in there because it was like me, Bob, Crypto G, Susie. There was like 7 of us in this fucking document. And I'm sure that they got like notifications or whatever that there was a bunch of people all of a sudden, using their document. So that was kind of funny. But it's all saved in the zip file, and I've even recorded it all, and I have it all, a copy of it as well. And then there's a conversation where Bob calls the guy that made the site. So there's a lot to go through here, and it explains it all to you. So this is kind of the technical article that if my family member or friend was in this, I would show them this article here that Crypto G wrote, and I would show them the video deep dives that I did. And then honestly, if that's not enough, I don't really know what else you could say. Like I said, then you just got to be there for your family member. Like there's not much that can go on with that. But yeah, that proves that there's no blockchain activity, no real trades, nothing verifiable. I would definitely show them that article as it walks through the code structure, the recycled templates, and the fact that this app isn't connected to any real trading API. So I think that is probably your best bet if you want to fully explain it to your dad and really walk him through the whole thing, right? Alrighty, next one. The next one is, I think DSJ Exchange is a scam, and I'm scared. Oh no. Sorry if I do not go into much detail about this. I'm kind of rushing. That's okay. Recently, members from my church community, oh no, had recruited my mom into joining this trading website for money called DSJEX. Oh man. Apparently, it's just a simple copy and paste to gain money, and they use an AI to scan the market. Apparently, right? My mom had taken me and my siblings to a DSJ meetup with other people who was in the Polynesian trade group, and they went over the benefits of joining DSJ and how the point of gaining money is to recruit other people. The point of gaining is to recruit? What? Damn, at a church? Right. Exactly. They also pointed out there were different levels to this. For example, if you were level 3, you would get a free supercar. And one of my church aunties had already reached level 3 and is getting a supercar. And it's like, where do they get the money for these supercars, you know? Something I am concerned about is while I was setting up my account, I searched up DSJ Exchange and I found a lot of people on Reddit warning how this was a scam, and I got really scared. Good job, Reddit. You had to download a chatting app called Bond Chat, where you would have to send friend requests to a person named Alina, the assistant, Alina, and the owner, the professor, Stephen Beard. They would send me different links to go onto the BSJ website, but my phone would give me a warning and will not let me go on the website at all, which you're going to see that happening in the clips I show you of me and Danny trolling. Making me very concerned. I mean, I would definitely be very concerned. Yeah, what's with the supercars being a part of the scams, huh? We gotta figure that out. It even sent me a link of how the website was unsafe and a scam. Which, again, yeah, that should be a red flag, right? I tried warning my mom about it, and she would not listen to me. And I also wonder, because hundreds of people in my church are in this BSJ, I like how they're calling it BSJ. Bullshit J. And are gaining a lot of money and don't seem to be concerned about this. Very worrisome. What should I do? I know, that is worrisome that it's a church. So, all right. With this post, I want to talk about something really important, especially for anyone whose mom or church group has joined BG Well or DSJEX and is saying, we're not worried, we're withdrawing money, so it must be legit. This is something that I see over and over again in my investigations. When a scam gets into a tight-knit community, especially a church, it doesn't act like a scam. It starts acting like a group belief system, and that's why it feels so convincing. So first, let's be clear. Early withdrawals working does not mean it's legitimate. Again, every Ponzi scheme pays out at the beginning. That's how they build trust. They use the deposits from new members to pay the older ones. So the fact that people are withdrawing right now is actually a classic red flag, not proof of legitimacy. Second, let's talk about the culty dynamic. Not in a scary way, I don't want to scare you more, but in a psychological way. Scammers intentionally target church communities because they already have the trust, they already have shared values, a sense of family, and all these scammers and cults like to be like, we're a family, always a red flag. They have leaders in the church group usually that people listen to already, and they have a culture of giving and helping. So these things make these communities really great to prey on, right? And those are beautiful things to have. But of course, scammers are going to exploit them. They know that if one respected person in the group joins, the rest usually follow. They know people don't want to question their pastor, their prayer group, or their close friends and family. They know that people don't often want to cause conflict. And they know that once a group believes something together, it becomes very hard for anyone inside that group to speak up. That's not stupidity, that's human psychology. So if you're watching this and your mom or your church group is involved, you don't need to be scared, right? Let's calm down a little bit, girl. Don't need to be scared, but you do have a reason to be concerned. Not because the people are bad, but because they're being targeted in a way that plays on their strengths, their trust, their community, and their generosity, which is why I hate these things the most. It's like I said, those are beautiful things, but scammers exploit them. And oftentimes the people in these things are great people, but scammers take advantage of that. So what can you do? What can you do as someone who's in this position? Basically, once again, focus on the people who are already asking questions. Don't argue with the whole group, especially all at once. That never works. That will just get you cast out of the group, and we don't want that. Share your evidence very calmly. So again, the 10 regulatory warnings, the link I just put in the chat, that would be good to go over. My deep dives talking about the fake CEO and etc. Do all that. And remind them that scams don't collapse when people figure it out. They collapse when the money slows down. So withdrawals working right now doesn't mean anything. It's still quite early. There's a lot of hype around this right now. It just means the scam is still in the early phase. Your job isn't to save the whole church. Your job is to protect yourself, support the people who are starting to doubt, and be a safe place for them when the withdrawals eventually stop, because they always do. And hopefully some of the advice that I've given in the past about that can help as well in this amazing live stream that I'm doing today. You know, that's all you can really do. Like I said, you can't save people, unfortunately. It's something I've had to really, come to learn and accept myself. Even as an advocate, I can't save everybody. So I wish you all the best, and I hope that the church group can get out safely. I hate when they do this. So BG Wealth Exchange, unbelievable scam method. What if I told you it was actually very believable and that we've seen a lot of these? It's like, what if I told you I've seen thousands of these in the last 7 years? Then what? Apparently it's very believable. So I've seen on Facebook where an entire group of people dress head to toe with the BG logo and give out food to people in need. That is such a foul way to advertise a crypto scam. Jesus Christ. And surprising enough, my family has been coerced into the scam. My dad has heard countless warnings about them, yet he is convinced it isn't a scam. Damn. Again, with the dads. It's always the dads or the grandpas, isn't it? Are they actively encouraging members that it isn't a scam? Very good question. Are they actively encouraging members? Yes, they are. Stephen Beard is actively telling people that there are people lying about this, that there are fake platforms who are copying them, and that those are the platforms that are being called out as a scam, etc. So yes, they are actively encouraging members that it isn't a scam. Let's break it down a little bit. So Stephen Beard says that he's registered with the SEC. Let's talk about that situation for a minute, because this is one of the most predictable scam tactics out there. So first, the SEC does not send certificates to individuals. That's not how registration works. Real registration is public, searchable, and tied to a real company with a real address. So when someone flashes a certificate, that's not proof. That's a prop. Scammers use props because they know most people won't know the difference. So when he's out here all like, we're registered with the SEC, and then shows his little certificate, just laugh at him. Again, he's telling members that the other platforms are the ones that are being called scams, and that they're the fake platform, and that his platform is the real one. That's a classic isolation tactic. Every Ponzi scheme in history has said the same thing. Even on Passive tried to pull this. They create a bubble where the group feels like they're the special chosen insiders who know the truth. And everyone outside is either jealous, misinformed, or trying to tear them down. That's how they build loyalty. It's not confidence. Again, this is just manipulation. And when a leader tells you not to listen to outside voices, that's always a massive red flag. Legitimate businesses don't need to isolate you. They don't need to tell you to ignore regulators, ignore warnings, ignore evidence, or ignore your own instincts. Scams do that. Because the moment you look at the facts, the fake CEO, the recycled backend, the 10 regulatory warnings, the fake trading app, this whole illusion just kind of falls apart. So when you see this us versus them mentality forming, understand that's not an accident. That's the scam tightening its grip. It's psychological, not financial. They're not just trying to keep people's money. They're trying to keep people's belief. And that's why it feels so intense inside the group. But none of that changes the facts. The SEC certificate is fake, the registration claim is fake, and the isolation tactics are straight out of the scam playbook. So yes, they are actively telling people that, and yes, it's hard to combat. Keep trying. That's all I can tell you is basically do what I've said to do here today. All right, this is the last one, I believe. So, ideas on convincing people in this DSJ scam that it's a scam. As you see, there's a big theme here today of friends, family members reaching out and saying, whole cities, whole churches, my grandpa, my dad, they've been taken into this thing. They're trapped in it. It's so culty. How do I get them out? Right? That's the theme here today. So yes, people are negatively being affected by this every single day. This person says, so I've been arguing with people on Facebook about this scam, and it's so bad it's like a cult. I'm looking for ideas to prove to people that it is a scam. I've sent them links to every government websites that are warning. I've sent them the definition of Ponzi scams. Tried to explain that copy and pasting a number in a site is not trading. Now, one has sent me this license for trading in the States, and it looks fake as hell to me. I was going to send it to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, asking if this is real or not, but the only way on their site I could find to do something like that is the tip whistleblower line. And it asks for info, which I'm not American and likely don't have. Anyway, I want some other ideas to try to change some people's minds. It's been fun trolling them too, but they are a tough crowd, very brainwashed and hard to get to engage in. Even talking about DSJ, they just call me a scammer and shun me. Well, don't I know the feeling? Don't I know the feeling? I've been through that before. We get called scammers all the time. So a lot of you guys have been trying to warn people on Facebook, not only about this scam, but about like other scams. I see a lot with Odd Passive Victory with Ash. I see a lot with the other MLMs. And instead of people listening to you, we get called scammers, we get attacked, we get blocked, blah, 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 right? So I want you to all understand something. That reaction has nothing to do with you being wrong. It's just a sign that the scam has already created a psychological bubble around them, which is probably not good. When someone is deep inside a high control scam environment, they're not debating you logically. They're defending their identity, their pride, and the hope that they've attached to this platform. You know, it's supposed to give them all of their dreams. Admitting it's a scam doesn't just mean losing money. It means facing embarrassment, fear, and the possibility that they convinced others to join too. And that's a huge emotional burden. So instead of questioning the platform, they attack the messenger. That's why they call you a scammer. That's why they block you. That's why they shut it down the entire conversation. That's for self-protection. It has nothing to do with logic. I also want you to remember that the scammers coach them to do this. Stephen Beard literally tells members not to listen to outside voices, not to trust critics, and that anyone who questions the platform is jealous or misinformed. That's not confidence, that's isolation. It's the same tactic every Ponzi scheme uses. Create an us versus them mentality so strong that anyone who tries to help gets treated like the enemy. So if you're arguing on Facebook and getting blocked, that's not a sign that you should push harder, okay? It's a sign that the scam has already trained them to react that way. You're not talking to the real person. You're talking to the version of them that the scam has shaped. The loudest defenders are performing for the group. The quiet ones, the ones who don't comment, who DM you privately, who ask questions, those are the people who are starting to wake up, and those are the people that you can help. Your job isn't to win arguments. Remember that. You're not out here trying to win the arguments. Your job is to be a safe place for people who are ready to hear the truth. And the rest will figure it out when the withdrawals stop, like they always do. Unfortunately, like I said, you cannot save everybody. It's unfortunate. Looks like I'm a little late today. That's all right, Joe. You came in for the fun stuff. So, one of the things that we do to try to wake people up out of these scams is we troll some of the BG Wealth sharing Zoom meetings. All right. There's a few of them that we are familiar with that we visit on a regular basis. And now I want to show you a video clip of me and Danny doing that. And a lot of people say, well, wait, aren't you attacking the victims and blah, 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 blah. No. We are going in there to disrupt the scam. And the reason why we do that isn't to attack the people that are even running these groups or these Zoom meetings. Again, it's for the people that are quietly watching, the people that may have doubts, the people that have questions. Because sometimes disrupting their meeting and going in there and telling them that this is a scam is what they need to kind of wake them up and shake them and get them to reach out to that family member that's worried about them on the outside and rethink this kind of thing. Or they'll come to our channels and they'll watch our videos and they'll go, hey, you make a really good point with this Stephen Beard deep dive proving he's not real, Queen. Maybe I'll leave this thing. That's what we do it for. And so here's an example of this happening probably about a week ago.
Let's cause some havoc here.
Sorry, Faith.
So
Should
it's
Yeah.
we trade, right? We copy, paste, and it trades.
Is that you, Queen of Karma?
Welcome to PG and to Kesa.
Let's see how we get
Did
on.
I ada nakahugya?
Oh, we're going to have some fun here, ladies and gentlemen.
Alwa ko yeah.
It's Tonga, isn't it? Oh, my goodness.
It's okay. They just
All right.
improve alola ba mai. Kaya mo tukang kaya mo liya mai.
Molly?
Yeah, darling. There you go. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can go in here. This is going to be funny. I'll just turn the mic off for a second. G'day, how you doing? Can I ask some questions about BG Wealth?
Hello.
Hello, how you doing? G'day, how you doing? Can I ask some questions about BG Wealth?
Hello.
Hello, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Hi. Welcome to PG. Hello.
So you just trade in the app, right? You put in a code. You put in a code and then it trade for you, right? I don't need to know trading because I want to join, but I want to make
about that. So it'll be interesting to see what they say. Let's have a listen.
you put in a code and then it trade for you, right? I don't
Queen
need
of
to know
Karma.
trading because I want to join.
Let's have a listen.
Lo le ka
I've got removed.
Okay,
Here we go.
okay, iyo pesa. Iyo kuna hu to ko lahi mena to bu ha na o pe ma ye.
So I think we're going to get removed pretty quick. I'm going to destroy. Let's see if we can keep listening to them. I'll freak them out. I'll see if I can get. I think they've gone quiet on us. What I'll do is I'll come in here with another account, another meeting. I've been removed. So let's go clear that, and I'll go in there with this allow. I'll try to find Kelpa Teta iPhone. Okay, let's see. I think they've gone quiet on us. What I'll do is I'll come in here with another. To here, we'll see if they let us in. I'll let you know. And we'll search for Mama's big personal meeting room. BG. Yeah.
So that was like from a week ago. I have another one from a couple nights ago that was really quite interesting because of what we walked in on them doing.
Green
Ai
light.
telefoni.
Iya.
Iya.
What's he saying?
Okay.
Well, they must be helping their community figure out BG wealth. See what they're doing. It's going to rename
Mike,
itself.
tingnan niyo mo.
Here we go.
Tawa to ko sita mo ilo share screen niya.
Koya pek ngatai.
So this is a Tonga
Siya kay foi
community
poto-poto ko na ilalo tapafa ko na ilalo.
who obviously is trying to
Ko iya. Siyoang.
navigate
Yeah.
multi-speaker.
And now watch what they do here.
Lo mi foi me ko na ilalo message ka ko foi Chrome.
Okay.
Ole vange. Foki ange ki he.
Lots of swearing going on. So I'm just going
Siya
to
ki
flip
me ko na
screens.
ilalo foi tapafa pa ko matao. Foki ay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to
Oh,
see
yeah,
if they get
okay.
that same error again.
Ko iya. Lo mi ange he DSJ ko
Cash
na
App, they've
asmay.
got their Bond Chat. See, they've got to have Bond Chat. Now, Bond Chat can turn on your microphone and your camera. Oh, my
Ko
goodness.
iya. Ole
Look at
va.
this. Suspected misleading. I'm going to ask them, if I get a chance, I'm going to ask them why they think that's okay.
Yeah, so we walked in on a Zoom meeting of them trying to find a website that they could log into because this scam jumps from website to website to website. I believe that they always have at least 2 or 3 going in case this happens. And it's literally popping up, warning, suspected misleading website. This website has been reported for potentially misrepresenting itself as a particular brand or service. Okay, and it's a warning that you get when something's been called out as a scam, basically. Hello, Sam, good to see you. So, this is hilarious, because watch as they go to more.
Iyo olunga. Lo mi ange a olunga sita sioki olunga ke me ko na osie I know hiva.net.
I want to see if I can change my name. I've got smell it.
I
Smell it.
olunga ho telefoni for website ko ya. For
I'd love to know what they're saying. Does anyone got a translator?
James. Here, Manu want to speak to you. Manu want to talk to you right now.
Manu.
Iyo angki ake fai nai not.
Oh,
I can't see. Could you love us see you?
is it okay to bypass the warning?
Who cares? Koloke bag to like a teau. Hurry up, James. Manu's busy.
And now I'm going to actually change myself to her name, rename,
.com.
and then I'm just going to see if they notice. So here they go. They're looking for an address that doesn't have that error on it.
81. Oh no, 0.
Are they mental? Are these people mental?
Sorry.
I mean, they're literally looking for an address that doesn't have the warning on it, saying that they're participating in something that's perfectly legal.
Right?
.com.
I mean, come on, man. Like, come on.
Suspected publishing.
Okay, then after com, then put the OAS.
So here's another website that pops up with a warning. Suspected phishing. This has been reported for potential phishing. It's like, dude, imagine being in a Zoom meeting for your alleged company where you've been apparently trading crypto, and then when they're going to the website, this is the stuff that's popping up, you know? A scam within a scam, for sure.
So bypass the warning by putting the direct path to the app. See what she's saying? It's iOS's operating system. And now, no. Oh, no. And it probably will display.
Looks like that one's also suspected phishing. Huh?
But what a crack up.
Look, don't get I me hang ko me ko me I try to the 3 dot.
I'm going to now record her voice. That's the new thing I'm going to do.
James,
do memo.
Do the what, man?
The 3 dot on the right side.
Yeah, I'm going to record. That's what I'll do. I'll record her voice.
Yeah.
And then when I need to
right
talk next time, I'm going to play her voice.
Go ahead and and if we out gay. Okay, James. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Manu.
You're welcome.
Amazing.
Bye.
There we go. The 4th website is the one that works. It's like, that's all you should need to see.
Okay.
Okay, ihenia a lot in the iPhone crypto.
James, go outside.
See that stop share my go.
Yeah,
Go na go os.
I have to James.
Right, so
Yes, I got James Sita do the same thing
Yeah.
kapag huwa to.
Same as him too.
Website.
Kapag James, if you go into your phone and it's blocked, then you have to do the same thing, eh?
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do the same thing on my phone.
Okay, iOS on the last.
Thank you.
Kita ko telefonía na ko PC tehiva.
Okay, iyo. Stop share my kaisasi o telefoni.
Go first, stop share, Manu.
Click on you need to go on the screen, on the Zoom.
So funny.
Or you can leave and come back on. Come back in.
Leave.
Alrighty.
Salote.
Waweni.
Iyo ko laiye ko.
Lote ko crypto when ako.
We're going to have 4 screens open. There we go. And now I can go back to this one.
You can go away.
Full screen.
Go fika kena.
Make that speaker view.
Kena no for her.
Iya ko fai deposit address na ko si tugar pe
And now I can go to here.
Iyo.
Aki.
Multi-speaker view.
Aki.
Ko.
Hopefully we'll
Share
be able
to for video he sharing ige na uloyem.
So they're all hanging out for their daily trades.
Yeah. Oglava fakata mo Android.
Android, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. So we'll keep that going. And while they're there, we'll just go through and check any other Zoom meetings that may be open.
Oh, okay. Okay, share screen.
Here we go.
I bet we're
It was,
okay.
yeah.
Loton
I think
low.
it'd be funny sharing the screen,
No.
but putting up our warning.
Okay. Ko ni ko sona tanen we kita mai no mga o he makikulupu. Ko nga ki fai no hino ke me agora na ki fai no mga ne nai. Ko nga
Yeah.
ke ni hanga o share ha ke ma e makikulupu. E lava be if kapa wo o sisi o se me ai.
No.
Ni gonna okay if not I can see o se na me
Yeah,
aga
I
to I
can
say
share
below.
I can share my.
Okay. Tane.
Yes.
So unmute your speaker Tane. Ko nga ki ko lay low na.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
You have a share screen, man.
Here we go.
Oh, me to share screen?
You're capaz de dar peo. Pero link na kung paano
Is this a
colocar.
scam? Is this that BG Wells scam?
Who's this?
I won't know what to say.
Time.
Is this a scam? Or is this real?
Who is it? Just let her out. Yeah. Ano, kaya ni fa humay loto ni.
Now they'll start to figure it out.
Wala si he.
Here we go.
Is
this a scam? It's a scam. G'day, guys.
Podemos share screen, man. Okay,
It's going to confuse them. I'm just going to actually turn the mic off and ask them that question about, I noticed, I'm going to go back and say, here we go. I noticed that you guys were trying to find a site that didn't have that phishing warning on it. Does that not alarm you that you're using a scam? Do you know what Bonchat does? Here we go. See what they say. They won't know who to kick out now.
Only my picture camera.
I'm just going to make sure we got everyone's name. And I'll go in there as Kulo. So what we'll do is we'll go back to here. And this is what you do. You go to Brave. You go delete browsing data.
Yes.
Right. And now we'll go
what is it?
here, there, and there.
Oh, let me see.
Just add iOS and iOS.
Okay. And I've got
Add iOS.
allow.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Wait, what are we trying to do? Sorry.
Do you want to share the screen?
Tane,
Yes.
click on the very bottom, tap on it,
Uh-huh.
and then you will see more with 3 dots. Click on that, and you will see in the middle on the top. They can see level GIY share, right? Then you click share.
Got it.
Hey, where does this
and then just follow that. Then you will share your screen.
Wonder what that crypto wallet. Can we find out where
you
that
guys see my screen?
Yeah, we can, mate.
Low.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys see my screen?
Can you see my screen?
Oh, hello.
We want to find his phone number. That was funny.
Okay. Tane, do you have a link
on chat
that you used but it's blocked? So you need to click on that one. Yeah, find a
link.
Yeah, just anything. There we go.
Oh my goodness, here they go again. Let's see if we can make them aware of it. We'll just
and then
leave. I'll just make sure we've got audio over here. And then I'll make sure I don't lose my main broadcast. Hey, don't click on that link because Bonchat will get you. Don't click on it, mate. Save yourself. Do not click on that link. These links don't work. It's not working. I don't need to go to another one. Hey, don't click on the link, mate. You'll get a virus. Don't do it. Hey, is that your mum's name? Whose phone numbers are those? SW Global Beehive. Oh no, don't click on the links, mate. You're just going to get a virus on your computer. In fact, we know where you live. So we're coming after you guys. We've got all your Facebook. Look at the suspected misleading website, and you're still participating in this. Really? You don't want to do that, mate. You're just jeopardizing yourself. Here we go.
Go in, Natane. So
Iya,
when
mahal
you
po
give
tayo
address
sa
and click yeah, Tane, to open.
So what do I do next?
Do you see the box? I mean the DSJ222.com? Yeah. There we go.
Get iOS in the phone. iOS.
Okay, let's go back
Like
to
that?
here.
Yeah.
Search?
Hey, Pixel. All right.
Oh,
So
okay.
let's go for a walk.
Wow.
Okay.
The arrow tell you just add iOS in the link.
Just add iOS at the end of that website.
Pixel, I know you want to walk.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
I know.
And it's gonna open.
Come up here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. It's awesome.
Okay. iOS. I'll remember that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
iOS. Just add to it and then
iOS.
click and it will open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lo.
So yeah.
Appreciate it.
So Tane, you
Thank you.
have time to log in here. Lo is awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Lo.
Keeping
All
the
right. I'll
community
share with the
alive.
team. So,
Okay, yes.
thank
Thank you. Thank you, Tane. Thank you, Lo. Kako
Okay.
haka me ako na humay.
So they're obviously providing support for people. Now what we need to do.
Man, how did they get on our Zoom?
Hey, here we go.
How
How did they get on my Zoom?
Oh,
Now they're just saying, but we're broadcasting live.
yeah, it's a lot. Malo, Tane.
Thank you, Alina. Thank you, guys. Have a
Okay,
good night.
yeah, thank you.
See you,
Good
bro.
night. And that is annoying. Oh, for us, there, Peho. I know, right?
Yeah, it's annoying.
And that's all I got. That's all I got, but we had some fun with that one. It was pretty funny, too, to see them trying to get to the website, and then every time it came up, it was like a phishing link. Imagine them trying to give people instructions, like, okay, and then you have to also do /iOS in order to get on there. And that means that only an iOS could get on there. So, yeah, they're having problems with their websites. They keep going down. It's crazy. I mean, I wonder who just keeps on flagging those websites. Probably one of the 10 regulatory agencies that has put a warning out about this thing. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I wanted to go through those Reddit posts, and I wanted to show you how we have a little bit of fun trolling the Zoom meetings. Yes, that was me with my fabulous Southern accent. I usually use accents because after a little bit, they start to recognize your voice. And I don't know how many more times we'll be able to troll that one because they're getting smart. They want to start accepting people in there. So it's getting harder to troll these Zoom meetings out here since, it's a lot of people trolling them now. And they're starting to get wise on how to stop us from trolling. Like, they won't let us write on the screen or unmute and whatnot and type in the chat, and then it's a little bit more difficult. But as you can see, this thing is still going strong, and there are thousands of victims. There are tons of posts all over Reddit of family members and friends asking, how do I get my loved one out of this thing? Which, like I said, is like the age-old question that we have about cults. How do I get someone I care about to leave? And unfortunately, there isn't one answer for that. But I hope that the advice that I gave you here today can help in some way. The websites. I know, just the fact that there has to be so many. And that's the other thing. Stephen Beard tells them, like, we change websites to protect you and your personal information. And I'm like, what? Like, imagine. Like no other website does this. You know what I mean? Like, no other website is like, we need to change our website every single few days in order to protect the people on it. Like, obviously, there's different ways to protect people, and the fact that you aren't using those things is a little worrisome, if you ask me, because we know there is malware on this, so, you know, there's that. But it's just, it's such a silly thing that Stephen Beard says about that, and I really, sometimes I'm like, I don't know why people believe that. Because you got to think no other website does that to protect people's personal information. Obviously, that is not the way that you protect your personal information with a website. At least not the only way. Like, you know, good to see people asking questions on social media. Me too. I'm very glad that people are asking questions. I think it's very good. I think it gets the conversation going. I think that people come and comment advice in the comment section, and then other people who are maybe they're, you know, too scared to ask on Reddit, but they have the same question. So then they can get advice through the comment section and through these videos. And that's all I hope to do. Like, this is a good video for you. If you know somebody that is a victim of a Ponzi, pyramid, MLM, any type of scheme, and it's culty, and you're like, Jesus Christ, how do I deal with this? You know, how do I help my family member? And do know it's not up to you to save them. I know that's hard to hear, but, you know, you can only do so much. And, you know, we do as much as we can over here on my channel. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today. I am doing Healing After Coercive Control on my community tab again. We're getting back into that every Wednesday. So be sure to go and check that out. And stay tuned to the community tab for more information. Please think about donating to my PayPal, which is linked down below in my description and also in the pinned comment. And I will see you all really, really soon with another one. And of course, I will see you no matter what for Friday. On Friday, you know, because we should be good to go with that. So I love all of your faces. Make sure you like and subscribe. Bye!